Hello, I'm Laura Shepard, and I have an opportunity here to talk with Kate Paullin. And Kate is a holistic depth coach, reflective writer, and deeply curious human. And I love that title. It's fantastic. And today we want to talk a little bit about human being versus human doing. So, Kate, thanks for doing this with me, and would love to let you introduce yourself, and also what are you working on right now? Tell me all about it.
Fantastic. Well, first, I want to say I apologize for the mouthful. It is my title, and I also stumble over it all the time. So, why I continue to use it, I am not entirely sure. And what I do is I basically help people who are tired of looking outside of themselves for answers, and I help them regulate their nervous systems in a way that they can start to establish safety with who they are and where they are at everything in this exact moment in time, so that they are then able to take their life in the direction that they want and focus less on surviving and more on thriving.
Oh, I
And
love it.
yeah, sorry.
No, I love it. It's great. I love that word thriving. That's come across my world the last few I don't know, the last few weeks. It's like thriving, and it resonates with me. It's like I want to be thriving, not surviving. So
Very much.
so what does it mean to you to be human being versus human doing?
So I think especially in 2025 now, we have a culture where more is more. We need to keep doing more. We need to keep producing. We need to keep being productive. If we are not being a productive member of society, then what are we even doing with our lives? And I think it's taking away some of our humanity. Human being is more about being in the present moment and being able to accept it for however it. I'm somebody who has spent many, many years resisting reality, and quite frankly, it's exhausting. And so now I am exploring different ways that we can be what I call constructive more so than productive, so that we are being intentional with what we do with our time and including time for stillness and rest, because you can't really be your best and be functioning your best when you're not taking the time to take care of yourself.
I love it. It's holistic, right? It's whole life.
Yep.
And I like your comment on productive and and rest, and like that triggered things in me because a lot of us are, highly busy people getting a whole lot done. And are we doing what we actually intend? That was the other thing you brought up, was about your intention, right? It's like, are we actually doing what we want to do, or are we doing with an intention versus just being busy? I don't know, I
Yeah.
kind of rambled there a little bit, but it's like how do you dig into that productivity and intention piece a little more?
Well, the first thing that came up when you were talking is I see a lot of people who have guilt when they rest. And to me, handling that guilt is the start of being intentional. Because when we rest, we're refilling our cup, if you will. We are giving our body, our mind, our spirit a chance to integrate everything that we have learned and process everything. And sometimes it can mean that our emotions catch up with us at that point. And in my opinion, that's a good thing, because then we get a chance to process them and let them go. And we get a chance then to get back into the present moment and choose what we want from it, as opposed to feeling like we are stuck reacting to our emotions.
That's powerful, because we have such crazy life, like you said, in 2025, the environment around us, the world around us,
Mm-hmm.
and and feeling guilty for taking time for yourself is pervasive. And it has been for quite a while, but
Yeah.
it's like why should we be guilty to take time for ourselves? And I know to me it's the classic cliche, put the oxygen mask on yourself
Yeah.
before others. And everyone's like, yeah. But I find I've been working on my whole life, and and rest and recovery has been a big part of that, because I didn't used to do that. And I'm sleeping better than ever, and I'm getting more energy. And then I'm that and it's and because I
Mm.
have more energy, because I'm sleeping better, then I'm able to focus on what I want to do and what my intentions are versus just dragging myself out of bed and,
Yeah.
working
Actually,
and
another thing
doing
off the
and
list.
doing,
Yes.
actually, and doing. And so I love this connection in being. Tell me more about being. Because, and we all do, it's do, and it's productivity versus busy, and it's intention and focus. And now what's this being?
So the being aspect to me is being with the present moment, however it is, and working with it. Like, there is a quote by Eckhart Tolle that I love, and I'm going to look here at my phone because it actually is my desktop background so I can remember. But whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. And once I heard that quote, it got me started to think about all of the emotions and everything that I resist in the moment, and how I would fight feelings of shame and guilt and anything else that is unpleasant or difficult to handle. And I was doing it in a way that I feel like I thought that I could solve it, that I could never have to feel those things again, as long as I could figure out the right thing that was needed to fix whatever it is. And what I've learned as I've been kind of studying a little bit more about human being versus human doing has been coming around to, how do we take these emotions, these experiences, these things that maybe we don't like, that we aren't happy with, and accept them? How do we continue to live alongside them? Because the thing is, emotions, they're just part of being human, and they are a part of our human experience. They are not something that we need to shame and blame in ourselves. And when we can learn to shift our viewpoint on what emotions mean, and how they're guideposts, they're signals for us to be able to tell what we care about or what direction we want to move, or they can be signals to us that are like, hey, wait a minute, I'm overwhelmed in this moment, and instead of maybe pushing through and fighting, I could actually pause and then get to choose how I react to the emotion, as opposed to reacting from the emotion.
Oh,
And all of that is being, to me.
no, I love that, because it is, how do you want to show up as a person, and how do you want to be in the present, right? And what I love, there's a couple of things. I remember you said something about, how do I fix it? And then you're like, how do you work alongside it? And it's like, there's nothing wrong with humans. We aren't broken. And I love that our emotions are part of who we are. And it's, how do you react or respond, like you said, not react? How do you respond and use them as the signals? Because I love that they are our signals. It does tell us what gives us clues of what is important to us when our emotions come up. And so much of our world has told us that emotions are weak and we need to suppress them, and why are we doing, like, just suck it up and suppress what you're feeling, and that's not helpful. And that comes out, actually, I've noticed as well, if I suppress, it comes out in my body in an ache and a pain, or something, some kind of disease somewhere in my body, but when that happens to me. So
The body keeps the score, for sure.
Yeah, our emotions, our body keeps the score. I love that. And our emotions, learning to work with them, to use them for our greater good. I know that sounds corny, but I'm sorry. I don't know. Use them to help us versus using them to try to, it's something that we have to fix ourselves from, because we're not broken.
No, I like to think of it as we can use them in order to make choices out of our values.
Oh, that's a good one.
And so, like, I value authenticity. And so to me, that means I'm going to be honest about what I'm feeling when it comes up. And I'm not saying that's always easy, like, by any means. And I know that being authentic is important to me. And so I would rather go through the discomfort of feeling my emotion as it's actually coming up, knowing that I'm doing it in the name of living up to one of my own values.
Oh, that's powerful. I like that. And that doesn't mean, being honest with your emotions with someone else doesn't mean that you're like, you're in their face with something. It's like,
No.
you learn how to communicate in a way that's productive, like positive and productive, but being honest and recognizing what your core values are, and what those deep core values are, because that when that triggered a thought in mine, is like everyone's like, my values are X, Y, Z, whatever it is. Sorry, Zed, the Canadian in me.
Yes.
Um, um, but a lot of those values have come from what's around us and other people and society, and that's good and that's okay, but are they really your values? And I
Yeah.
love I love helping people see what's truly important to them,
Mhm.
and by digging deeper. And I love the link of what you said about emotions to core values and what's important. So when things come up emotionally, what is it telling you, right? Does this matter, or is this just like, oh, this really bothers me, which means maybe that's not a core value anymore.
Yeah.
So why are we holding on to it, right? So
Maybe
cool.
we're getting triggered in another way because there's a level of something coming up that's ready for us to heal. There's no telling in that regard. And getting curious, in my opinion, is the solution if we're going to talk.
No,
So,
absolutely. Curiosity is so powerful, because to your earlier point, it's like stop and pause and be curious about, why am I reacting this way? What, not
mhm.
why, it's more like what in this situation, what in this moment is creating this emotion for me, right?
Yeah.
And when you sort of go look at that, and then they go, okay, so what do I do with that? Well, then it's okay, what does that mean to me? And what do I want to do with that? And then to your point earlier, okay, how do I want to respond now that
Mhm.
I know those things?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful. Beautiful. Oh, that's fun. I love it. I love it. So what other, you told, when we were talking earlier, you said you had a project you were working on.
Yes.
What are you doing?
I am very excited. There's a couple different things that I'm working on right now. And the first one is I just launched a new podcast series called Hello Void. And it's conversations at the intersection of psyche and uncertainty. And it's about what it means to be human in 2025 and how we can learn to live alongside emotional pain and uncertainty rather than having them be something that humans think that we need to eliminate in order to be happy, in order to exist in the world as it is now. And I have been able to sit down and talk with about 10 different people so far about what they've noticed in the world, how things have changed for them in the past few years. And part of the reason I'm really excited about it is it's in a way renewed my sense of faith in humanity in like a very uncertain time. It gives me hope that, we humans, we really are doing the best that we can. And there's a lot of areas where we can show ourselves some grace. And the more of us who do that, it has this ripple effect outward, and that it gives more permission to those who are around us to do it. And being able to have conversations with people and discuss certain thoughts that I know I have a lot. I have thought a lot in the past few months about what it means to be human and how to exist with emotions that maybe I would rather didn't have if my conscious mind fully got to choose. And what came out of that was just these conversations that I now get to have with people and that I am sharing out for others to listen to. I've heard a few different responses so far that are things like, oh, this is something that I've been thinking about and didn't have a place to talk about it. Also, this is something that I hadn't really considered to think about, and it's really interesting questions. And now I want to think about what my answers to some of these things are as well. And so I'm really excited to get to have, well, more conversations always, and also get to actually have people start hearing them now that they are getting published and out there wherever people listen to podcasts.
Awesome. Congratulations
Thank
on your
you.
launch. That's fantastic. And we will, I'll put a link to that, so people can check that out. That's
Perfect.
amazing. I love it, because every time um, humans are meant to connect and
Mm-hmm.
meant to share and meant to learn from each other, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Um,
Mine as
and
well.
and having conversations that challenge us and make us think different, and just let us explore, right?
Mhm.
Explore and hear other viewpoints. It's powerful, it's like one human at a time will, you know, it helps you show up for yourself in the world in a way that is authentic to
Yeah.
you, And I like the ripple effect. You don't know who it's going to impact, and that's really cool. And that
You
just,
don't.
ripple and keep going.
And one of the great things about it is that each of the guests that I have on, they give a free gift to listeners. So it's not just listen to this and then now go about your way. It's listen to this and here's another tool that you can use if something came up for you while you were listening to a particular episode.
I love it. That's great. And speaking of that, I know you have something to offer as well. So what would you, other than your podcast, which is fabulous, what would you like to offer today?
So I am working on a few different things at this moment that are all based around us being human beings as opposed to human doings. And as part of that, I have a free call that I give to people where we can talk through a situation of something that's coming up in your life and help get a new perspective on it. And if any of the offerings that I have strike with you, we can talk about them there as well. But it's just a great way to kind of get to see something that maybe in a new way, in a way that you haven't been able to see your problem or your situation before.
Oh, I love it. That's great. I know how powerfully you can impact people, Kate. So I appreciate it. That's awesome. Now, did you have you had another course you're starting you're going to start in the next month or so?
Yes, along the same lines of human being, not human doing. There is this course that I'm starting that's going to be on Sunday mornings, and the whole idea is having time to connect with yourself and to connect with others in this like sacred, safe space where we're able to reflect and show up just exactly as we are. There are so many things that we have in our lives that serve great purposes and everything, and they all involve us doing more and more and more. And the whole point of these couple of hours a week is to actually do less so that we can be more, be in the moment more. And in my opinion, when we are able to tune inward and connect with ourselves, then we are in a fantastic place to be able to connect with others on a whole new level that maybe we hadn't yet reached before.
Powerful.
Courses.
Oh, exciting, exciting, exciting. So if anybody's interested in learning more about that, definitely connect with Kate with her free call. I'll also put it in our link so that you can reach out to her and have a conversation and see if that's something that resonates with you.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, Kate?
Yeah, the one last thing that I am going to say, well, let's be honest, maybe two last things. The first one is that I am ADHD, and so as part of that, I have trouble with getting things started, the motivation to do things. Dopamine is the reward chemical that we have in our brains, all humans have in our brains, and it's what helps us start tasks. And so if you're ever finding yourself not able to initiate on something, I have this PDF that people can download that's 40 quick and easy tips of ways to get dopamine. And there's an activity in there that you can have, and Laura, I will share this link with you as well. But it's a great resource if you're like, I want to get up off the couch and go do XYZ, if you will. And you're just not sure how to get yourself started. What you need is a little bit of dopamine to get yourself that kick. And so these ideas can help you get up off the couch and do the things that you actually want to do. And
awesome. I love that. What else? You said two things.
Yeah, I did, because I'm a verbose person. The second thing I'm going to say is I hope that anybody listening takes this as an opportunity to show yourself some grace. We are all humans. We do the best that we can, and it's not always easy, and it doesn't always seem like other humans are doing the best that they can. And I think that when we can learn to start to show ourselves some grace for being human, then we find that we have more ability to show grace for other humans as well.